What's in your game room?
We have here the director of the upcoming DVD Nintendo Quest, and it's Rob McCallum.
Rob McCallum, writer-director, thank you so much.
How you doing today?
Dude, this is incredible. We're at the Waterloo Game Swap. You guys came by, and I had to pull you aside to see if I can get a little bit of airtime.
Because we're so famous with our, hundreds of thousands of subscribers.
I love it, man. It's all about me getting some shameless promos, and I'm so glad that you gave us your time. Thank you.
So why don't you tell us what you're doing here?
Well, we're here promoting our film Nintendo Quest, which is the ultimate 8-bit adventure. For those of you that don't know, Nintendo Quest is a love letter to the NES era of gaming. I dared my best friend, Jay Bartlett, to go out for 30 days to try to collect every single retail American release of Nintendo games. So anything that bears the official seal of quality from Nintendo, he had to collect in person, no internet, with his own money in only 30 days.
That's insane.
So 10,000 miles we zigzagged across North America, from London, Ontario, where we started, to Houston, Texas, Austin, and everywhere in between. It was nonstop mayhem. So imagine waking up every morning thinking video games, and that's the last thing you think before you crash and pass out after playing some of the games that you get that day. We also got to meet with a lot of the cool gamer icon celebrities like Billy Mitchell, Walter Day, Tommy Tallarico, who tell us why the NES was so important when it launched and why it's still relevant today. Because obviously it's relevant if a guy like Jay, who's over here behind me, wants to spend his whole summer doing that kind of thing. So we're excited about it. The film starts screening in a limited capacity this summer, starting in LA, then Vegas, and then we move east. And it's even coming to the London, Ontario area for September 25th, 26th, 27th.
Nice. I'm a backer, and I can't wait to see what happens. Obviously, we can't tell you what's going to happen, but I have a question for the director himself.
Sure.
Since this is all about video games,
Yes.
do you collect yourself?
Of course, I'm a huge collector. I love games. I'm a huge NES collector. I have a lot of sealed box kind of stuff, so I do have factory sealed stuff. It's a guilty pleasure. My wife doesn't like it because it's a little higher tier. I got stuff like Bubble Bobble, CIB, I got Wacky Races, Jetsons, DuckTales 1, 2,
Wow.
Rescue Rangers 2. Like, I love all that kind of stuff. I'm a huge Genesis fan as well, so even though this is documentary Nintendo, a lot of Sega love. I love Dreamcast stuff. My second biggest collection aside from NES is probably GameCube. I have a ton of GameCube stuff. It's an underrated system, much like the Dreamcast was a few years ago. Now it has seen a resilience and a resurgence. But GameCube, that's where it's at, man. And it's still very affordable to collect and has a lot of cool gems in it.
Yeah, the markup's starting to go slowly, but there are some really good gems you can get for an affordable price.
Sure, absolutely. And they're great games. It's not like the NES library where some of the expensive ones aren't fun to play.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of really fun GameCube games out there that are definitely worth the price tag that's on them.
Well, that's awesome that we have a collector who's with his passion of trying to
Sure.
find or make a DVD of someone else collecting. Now, I know you have a lot of great stuff. What is your prize possession, just so I can know?
Oh man, prized possession. Honestly, it's maybe a little bit of a plug for the film, but we took an NES around with us when we were filming. Everybody that we met, we got them to sign.
Oh, wow.
So everybody that you see in the film has signed an NES that I have, and that's probably my prized possession because it's all
Sentimental-wise, as
it's all
opposed
about
to
the community. It's all, everybody that loves games for the same reason, and you'll never be able to replace that. It's a one-of-a-kind thing.
Awesome. Now, one last question. Is there anything here that you're actually looking for?
I'm always looking, and I'm behind the table, which is probably a good thing for my bank account, because I flew from Vegas just to be a part of this. I missed the previous couple ones that Jay was here for, but I had to be here this time. I've seen like an Earthbound Loose that I would love to add. I've seen a Chrono Trigger Complete. I saw a Sega CD Batman and Robin, which I know isn't an expensive game.
Still a great game, though.
But it's a great game, so it's like something I would love to add to my collection, but it's probably best that I'm on this side of the table, especially for all the other game hunters out there.
Yeah, everyone looks like ravaged wolves trying to take what they
Those
can.
doors opened today, man, and it was like, feed! They just went out there. It was great.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm so glad to interview you, and I wish the best of luck with this DVD. I can't wait to see it myself. Once again, I did back it. I hope all of you pick it up when it eventually comes out. And when does it come out on DVD?
The film, we're going to start sending the Kickstarter ones this summer, which if you backed it, you probably got one of the 2 or 3 disc sets. We don't know what the future release plans for a disc were, but obviously the other thing that we are releasing is the game based on Nintendo Quest. What do you think about the game? A game in which you get to game hunt.
That would be awesome.
That's coming out end of 2016. So obviously there's a lot of stuff for the Nintendo Quest crew, Jay and I, and we just really want to say thank you for everybody out there that's backed us, that continues to discover us. Reach out, talk to us. We're very friendly people, as you well know.
Thank you, Rob. We're here with the star of Nintendo Quest, and this is Jay, and he actually has his own cartridge and everything. That's awesome, dude. I know they're mock-ups, but you have a game as well.
We have a game coming out, no release date yet, but we are developing one, which I guess that makes Rob and I game developers. That's pretty cool, man.
That is pretty cool.
No, these guys here are just replicas for collectors. It's like a showpiece kind of thing. So there's awful games in here. I think most of them are Anticipation. A couple Mario.
Classic.
Yeah, like a classic piece of crap.
So, I know you've done this whole thing. I guess you're happy to be overdone with. What do you see in the future with Nintendo Quest? Do you think maybe a sequel of doing SNES or anything like that?
So there's two questions that we get asked all the time. The first one is, did you complete it? Did you do it? Which I won't tell, not yet.
Obviously.
Not till it will be revealed this year. And then the second one is, what's next? What's next? What are you guys doing next? And that's kind of what we're doing now. We're doing a power tour where we're taking the film across North America.
Yeah.
Going showing in all these states, all these provinces, and which is awesome. And we're kind of thinking what's next because it has to be the same kind of caliber. Nothing wrong with Super Nintendo or Genesis or something or anything like that.
Yeah.
However, is it the same kind of caliber as NES? I would say probably not. I mean, that's arguable, but there's nothing like stadium events. There's nothing like Little Samson on these systems. So I don't know if me collecting another system's entire library is where we're headed. I don't know though. We're trying to find that out this year. So.
You just gotta see what kind of other bets Rob's gonna make with you, eh?
Yeah, if he has other bets, yeah.
So, during this whole process, you got to meet some amazing people.
Yeah.
Who was the best, if I'm allowed to ask?
Who's the best?
Or like that meant the most to you?
Todd Rogers.
Yeah.
Who is an idol of mine that I've grown up watching. He's the first professional gamer. I'm now honored to call him my buddy. We're friends. Like, that's crazy to me, man. I use the analogy, if you're a hockey fan, it's like getting to hang out with Wayne Gretzky for a day. It's exactly what it was like. And he's the coolest dude. He's so genuine. It's Todd.
Were you starstruck?
He was a little bit starstruck with me. He's like,
Really?
the first thing he said out of the airport, he's like, "Oh my God, can I have your autograph?" He was kidding, of course, but I was a little bit. But as soon as he got into the van, it was like an old buddy. Like he instantly clicked with us. It was awesome.
Now, besides collecting video games, stuff like that, you get to star in your own video game, which is awesome.
Yeah.
How does that feel to actually be in a Nintendo game?
That hasn't hit me just yet. We're not quite at that phase. We've done a bunch of brainstorming ideas. We want it to be like kind of like Final Fantasy-ish. As far as actually being in the game, no, that hasn't hit me yet. I think once we get the first
Start seeing the sprites and
early
stuff.
alpha and stuff like that, it's going to be like, holy crap, like this is real. So, like I said to you at the beginning of this, like we're game developers now. Like that's exciting, right? Who doesn't want to be in a video game? You know what I mean?
Were you a big collector before all this?
Oh yeah, yeah. I've rarely got rid of my stuff, and I thank my mom for that. You know, she got me into games when I was young, like the early '80s, and I've hung on to everything. So all the stuff I have is original. So as you can see, picked up a replacement 3DO because mine just died the other day.
I'm a big 3DO fan.
Me
you know?
too. Isn't
Nobody
it?
appreciates that damn system.
Well, people should. You should appreciate it because 3DO is awesome.
Thank you.
The 90s, the mid 90s had such a bizarre,
The early polygons and stuff like
weird,
that, and
like
FMVs.
the CDI and
Yep.
the 3DO and the JAG and all that great stuff. I love that stuff.
It was a great time, like during that whole war with everything, especially the Saturn II, very underrated system.
And it wasn't just Sony and Microsoft or Nintendo and Sega. You had all these obscure companies like Panasonic throwing out a 3DO and Philips making a CDI.
Yeah.
That's my favorite era. Anyway.
So, besides Nintendo, what else do you have as your collection or a prized possession you have aside from Nintendo products, like, or no, NES products? I mean, like any super obscure SNES games or Jaguar games, anything that means sentimental or value-wise.
Off the top of my head, Action 52 on Genesis, on NES. We're not talking about NES stuff. I got Musha for Genesis. Yeah, that's all I can think of off the top of my head right
Like
now.
no Hagani or anything like that. Or...
No, I don't have that one. Sorry, I have Cheetahman.
Yeah, that's really good.
NES, but sorry, my brain's a little mush.
You're all Nintendo now. You just can't think of anything else.
I want to talk about Nintendo so bad. You have no idea, but I can't. Not yet.
I bet when it released, you're just gonna be like, "Bah," just everything out.
It's gonna be nice to go to the screenings and do the Q&As. And people ask me questions, I could say, blah, whatever, yes or no or whatever. Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to check it out. Seriously, I was one of the first backers when Pete mentioned it and when it went on, and I'm so excited to see what happens, man.
Pete's great.
Appreciate everything.
And, you're great, and I want
Thanks.
to be on your show, man. I want you to come check out my game.
I definitely love to see what you have in there because I bet you have some great stuff, man. A lot of 3DO, I'm hoping.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
If
If you like what you just saw, please subscribe, like, and comment. And don't forget to check out our other videos.